Pratap here. So earlier we had a video on computer components part number one, and now we are going to talk about computer components part number two. So in this topic, we will be discussing about that computer tools and some techniques how you will be making your computer a bit faster and how you'll be making it powerful user. I mean, you will be acting as a pro user. All right. So now if you have seen last session, like computer cabinets, or maybe let's take one name of that machine, like powerful machine, like you can think about Dell uh, desktop. All right. Let's say once we'll talk about Dell desktop. Now you can see this. So these are the Dell desktop. Suppose I will pick this. Okay. Now this is a one mini desktop. Suppose there is some issues with that desktop. So you want to fix it, or you want to do some troubleshooting over there. So what are the process? What are the tools that you are going to use? So the tools you are going to use, I will make a list and I will explain this. Okay. So let me explain that. So the first tool that you have to have, that is screwdriver. Okay, screwdriver that you have, and screwdriver will be having couple of types. Some will be having multi-head, and some of them will be having like star, like that kind of screwdriver. And then next it will be coming, which is multimeter. So multimeter will be having two type. One is digital, another will be analog. Okay. So then you have to have the ESD. ESD is your electrostatic discharge. Okay, let me electrostatic and then discharge. All right. So that is your ESD. So these are the major three components that you have to have. Also, you have to have that for soldering purpose, like something you want to melt it, you want to replace some transistor, or you want to small parts you want to remove. In that case, you will be using some you know uh, a heater and all those electric gadgets, so to remove those things. Okay. And but these are the men. So the mostly you will be, when you'll be working on some on motherboard, or some like component like RAM, so you have to connect it with the ESD. So now I will show you that screwdriver, and screwdriver that you already know that they're having many types of screwdriver comes. So to open the computer and see it, so you'll get to know that plenty type of screwdriver comes. Okay, now multimeter once we'll talk about. So will show you that multimeter. Okay, so multimeter mostly you have seen it, that yellow color one box, so which will be helping you to measure the voltage, now ampere, resistance. So these are the things you will be checking it out. Multimeter. So if you see, these are the you know multimeter mostly you have seen. So what we will be doing, this is the digital one and this is the black one. I mean this one is that analog one. So you can check it like that circuits is working or not in order to do testing and all those. So you mostly will be using that ESD, electrostatic discharge. Also you can use the okay, ESD. So electrostatic discharge, you can see it here. Now if you see the image of this, see, this is the electrostatic discharge. Mostly people put in the wrist and then connect, work on the motherboards and all those. Why? Because some of the components in a motherboard, they required minus volt. So in our body we have some electric. So if you catch that, that is going to that can spoil the device. So this precaution you need to take. Like if you think about this man, can you see that top of his wrist? So that he put that EST and then he is working on all. So this is the personal safety, as well as like the components will be more better. So that's what you have to be careful once you are doing that kind of things. Anyways, so that's main components or main tools that you'll be using in order to repair the computers and all. So earlier we have already discussed like system unit and the RAM, processor, graphics card, etc. Okay, so now you will be having a quick look on that. So what all tools, what all process, what all things you will be required when you will be building up one machine. So in order to get that, let me change the color. Okay, so in order to do that, so first we'll be coming like the products, I mean the components all you need, which is monitor, then the power supply. And guys, one more thing, this power supply I wanted to mean like UPS. So UPS, uninterrupted power supply. That means from your socket. I mean from your electric. So there will be one socket will be coming up. I mean you will be connecting one device which will be keeping that storing your electricity. And once that there is no power, I mean electricity gone, so that time he will give you the power supply. So that's the UPS is online, UPS is there, and offline UPS is there. So UPS vendor is APC is a good one. And then also you can go for Luminous. So Luminous is an Indian brand. So Sachin Tendulkar is the ambassador of that, I guess. I'm not so sure. Maybe he's the ambassador, because couple of time I have seen some of the posters somewhere. Okay, so that's the power supply. Then will be required keyboard and then mouse. So keyboard, mouse also, guys, they will be having plenty type of variants. Like gaming keyboard you will be having, like normal formal keyboard you will be having some soft touch keyboard also will be there. Backlit, I mean backside of the keyboard you'll be having LED. So those also kind of keyboard also there. Mouse also you'll be getting like old days you'll be having trackball mouse. I mean back of that mouse they'll be having one ball, and it will be rotating and your mouse pointer will be moving. So those days was there, so which is gone. Okay, so that's what the thing. Now next will be coming second stage of component which is there in your PC, that is motherboard. So motherboard, last time we have discussed all that components in a computer that you are going to host in there, like RAM, your processor, your north bridge, your south bridge, your CMOS battery, then your power, your SMPS, everything is getting connected in the motherboard. So motherboard will be having different types, like you'll be having ATX, Motherboard types is like ATX is the type, okay, size like ATX, micro ATX, then you will be having BTX, then you will be having NLX. So these are the types of motherboards are there. Types, I mean size and form factor. Form factor also called design. So your motherboard is all about like that. Then once we'll be coming to the vendor. Vendor means who manufacture your motherboard. Like EMSI is there, Gigabits is there, Asus is there. Like this kind of plenty of vendors are there. Earlier Intel was there. Now Intel stopped producing it motherboard. They are mostly focusing on that processor because that is their prime products. So uh, motherboard and processor. So guys, a processor plays a very vital role. So always you'll check the generation, which generation of processor you have, how many cores are there, how many threads are there, how much is that your cache. I mean cache also some people say. So those things you will check before getting the processor. So you can get that AMD Ryzen. Also you can get that Intel. AMD Ryzen also not so bad, but the problem is it makes some heat. I mean it's a heating issue, but they are slowly they are recovering it. Probably they will be come up with the best maybe engineering process. Okay, but one thing is there Intel architecture and that Ryzen architecture, I mean AMD Ryzen architecture is not the same. They're having some changes, they're having some something else is there, I mean comparing both. Okay, so that is your processor. So processor you can go for AMD or you can go for Intel. Then we'll be coming to RAM. So RAM, yeah, you having uh, mostly I prefer to go for you know RAM for share, or you can go also for. I mean, you also go for Xeon RAM also. Xeon is also not bad. You can go for it. That issue is with Xeon RAM. It's a Chinese manufacturer. Now I think they're manufacturing in Taiwan. I strictly don't like Chinese product. Even so many time I ignored uh, many product like if it is from China, because probably I will be handling with so much of data, and they will be having something hidden in their motherboard or somewhere, all the information going to China, and that is tremendous. So that privacy and everything, I mean not personal, even if I'm dealing with somebody else product, so those privacy will go away. Anyways, so thinking about all those, I really don't recommend, but guys you also try not to get in Chinese product. Okay, so then we have discussed about graphics card or else graphics card is here. Then we'll be having sound card. Then we can set modem card. Old days people used to put the modem card. And then LAN card. LAN card, last time I have not discussed. So LAN card by default in a motherboard, one default card is there. Now in case you need two LAN card or two or more, when you need two or more uh, you know LAN connection. Suppose you want to connect with the two of the ISP, or you want to uh, do NIC teaming, or you want to do breaching or something you want to do. In that case, you can go for that extra LAN adapter. I mean extra LAN card. So that also depends on your motherboard slots, PCI slot. I mean expansion slots. That is your That is also depend on that expansion slots, like whether you have extra expansion slot where you can fix. So then you will be coming to this part, number 4, like you can set floppy drive. Okay, then that is your choice. Mostly people don't use floppy drive, but some very admin section are very I mean, some of the people still they like to keep uh, like they're saving their password and other things in the sense registry, or maybe some of that encryption key inside the floppy drive. Rather, they are putting manually the password. Once they will put the floppy drive and floppy disk inside the floppy drive, so all that information is there, is reading, and then opening up the server. Those places still floppy drive is there, but it's a legacy device, guys, so don't put your head in this. Now hard disk, that is important. So earlier, guys, a hard disk was like 500 GB and 1 TB, but now the generation is upgrading, they need more data and all those. So up to 4 TB it is available easily in the market. So based on your requirement you can put it. Also, uh, some SSD is there. SSD hard drive, that is costly. SSD, I think for 512 gig or 480 gig, it is nearly 500 USD. And the good one also, this is available is a lesser price also. I mean, suppose 100 USD also you will be getting, like Western Digital Green. But maybe data transfer rate and all those you have to take care. I mean, you have to check that one. So then CD DVD, that is also getting obsolete day by day. Okay, so CD DVD, now Blu-ray disc also available in the market. So that's the thing. You can put optical drive here in the CD DVD and read the data. Number 5 will come up. Let's say speaker. Speaker you play. So this is your speaker. Is the one of that integral part. I mean, it's a very important part of this. And then if can speaker is not inbuilt in your system tower or system cabinet. Maybe some of the buzzer could be there inside, that will be used for post or on self test, but that is not you have to get that from outside external. So some of the good vendor like BOSC, and Logitech also not bad, and some Sony also available. Then microphone. Okay, and then external modem. Then external modem. So these are the, like in overall components and parts are there in your computer. Okay, now once you will be coming to the computer processor, hard disk, and all this. So first you just make sure what is the purpose of your device. So are you going to use for home usage, or are you going for office usage like email, Excel, office work, or if you are a graphics designer or video editor. So based on that you will be choosing processor, RAM, and storage. All right. So getting things is very easy, but you have to little bit research. You have to get it before you uh, finally own your computer. All right. So that is very important, and you must work on that. Fine. So guys, you can reach me if you need more. You know, any more you want to know anything more. So then just let me know. All right. Fine, guys. So I don't want to increase that this part very large. So that won't help much. So I will be in touch. I will be keep adding the things. So I guess which will be helping you out. So some of the guys you already know all of them. So you don't ignore. You just go through it. I think some of the things you will be liking. Also, I must say